Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to my channel, How You Figure. I'm Justin, and in today's video, I'm going to be ranking every Hot Toys Ahsoka figure that is up for pre-order right now from number 13 to number 1. Stay tuned. So as I said in the intro, this is going to be ranking every announced figure from the Ahsoka Disney Plus line from Hot Toys from number 13 to number 1. We're probably going to get more figures, so this is kind of a so far list. If you like this type of video, please give it a thumbs up. Consider subscribing. I think you'll like it around here if you like this type of content. And let's jump right into this ranking. Let's go. So at number 13, we got the Mandalorian Super Commando. To be totally honest, this figure just doesn't really do a whole lot for me. I know a lot of people that want to collect like kind of the Clone Wars, the Mandalorians and have that kind of thing with their Darth Mauls. I totally get that. I just think that this one looks kind of, it looks good still. Don't get me wrong, it looks good. But out of all the Ahsoka line, this is the one I'm least excited about. I just feel like this one, it just doesn't do a whole lot for me personally. I think it's actually a pretty decent looking figure, and if I can get it on sale maybe down the line, I will definitely look into it. But again, just for me personally, it's the one that excites me the least, and one that I'm more than likely going to be passing on initially. Again, down the line, if I see a sale on it, I might pick it up. But just for me, this is the weakest in the Ahsoka line, which isn't really a bad thing because this is how good this line is. And we're going to kick it over to number 12, which is Captain Rex. Now, full disclosure, I think that this Captain Rex looks great. I really think that this figure looks really, really good. And the only reason it's 12 is because there's a Clone Wars Captain Rex right now that you can get pretty easily. And it's got the head sculpt. And that could be one that you can use in your live action display. Again, if you want to have the most consistent Ahsoka line, definitely get this one. I do think that this one has, obviously there's a few differences there, and I think that this figure is still a beautiful figure. But just because there's that other figure out there that you can get right now, I think that if you're really needing to kind of narrow down which figures you get from this line, I think this is one you can pass on, and one I'm going to be passing on initially as well, because I might actually pick up that Clone Wars figure to fit in this Ahsoka display. So that's why Captain Rex is pulling in at number 12. Next, we have number 11, and we have Merrick. Merrick disappointed me in the sense that he's that character that looks so cool. You want to add him to your collection, but he's also a character that just there wasn't a whole lot of substance there. This is still a really good looking figure, one that again, I'm probably going to pass on this one initially, but one that I definitely think will look really cool on your display, and one that I think is still really good. It's just, for me, Merrick just didn't have a huge presence in the show. I thought he was going to have more going on, and I think a lot of people did. He just didn't. So Merrick is going to be at number 11. So number 10, we got Captain Enoch. Okay, once again, kind of like with Merrick, a character that looked cooler than he was in the show. I think in the show, he almost seemed like Thrawn's right-hand man. He seemed like a formidable trooper, a captain, and again, I just think that this is a cool look. Like, it almost reminds me of something from Gladiator, the way they wore those masks in the Coliseum and stuff like that. I just think that this is a really, really good looking figure. I really like the head sculpt on this. That's just really interesting. I think that it would look really cool with your other troopers, and since he is a captain, this would look really good if you do decide to get that Thrawn figure. This figure looks pretty cool. I think it's still a worthy addition to the collection. It's one that I'm kind of going back and forth on getting. I'd be okay with not getting it, but one I'm going to be looking into nonetheless, and that's why it is at number 10. And at number 9, we have Padawan Ahsoka Tano. This one's really not for me. It's 9 just because I can appreciate people that are going to be collecting the Clone Wars, how important this figure is to them. I totally understand that. Again, I have not watched all of Clone Wars, so that, this would probably be maybe a 1 or 2 higher if I had, but then again, I'm not sure, because I watched Rebels, and that's why a lot of my rankings plus this Ahsoka show are the way they are. But this figure still looks phenomenal. I mean, it still looks like a great figure. It still looks like one that if you pair it with that, that'll look good next to your Ahsoka figure. It would look good paired with that Anakin. I just think it's going to be a figure that people are really excited about or could care less about. I fall somewhere in the middle. I can see the excitement. I'm going to be passing on it initially. Again, our next figure is ones that I'm pretty positive I'm getting. but this is one that just missed the cut for me, but still a really good figure. But that is why it comes in at number 9, just because I don't have that connection to the Clone Wars as a lot of other people do. And we got number 8, and we have the Night Trooper. Now, the Night Trooper I thought was really cool. I actually liked the whole scene with the Night Troopers, you know, and I just think it looks really cool. It reminds me of like a mummy, kind of like a Halloween-y type Night Trooper. I just like it. It just reminds me of like the, you know, coming back from the dead, the movements of like a mummy, and just the wraps around the stormtrooper suit. I just think it's familiar enough that it's Star Wars, but it's a different enough take to where you can look at it and be like, oh, I remember that from Ahsoka. So it really has that brand recognition in your Ahsoka line that I think will look really good on a shelf. And there's not much more to say about it other than I just think this looks really cool, and I really enjoyed the scene that it was a part of. So this is why this figure right here is coming in at number 8. Number 7, we got Chopper. Chopper is a character that I think, you know, again, Rebels, yeah, but this is a character that I could see having a bigger role in future seasons, and this just looks really cool. I don't have a droid yet, so this would be a droid that I would be getting. Again, I plan on getting C-3PO and R2-D2 down the line, obviously, but Chopper is one that I would really love to have and have positioned with, you know, that Sabine figure, just next to all these Ahsoka characters, because I just think it's a really cool looking droid. This is going to be a great addition to your Ahsoka display, and one that I am extremely excited to be potentially getting. Now, 6 through 1 are for sures. I know I've been saying that, I've been kind of going back and forth on that, but the more I was looking at it, 6 through 1 are for sures, and ones that I have on pre-order right now. And at number 6, we have Grand Admiral Thrawn. Grand Admiral Thrawn was fantastic in this. Again, you know, Grand Admiral Thrawn, anytime you can get like a bad guy in Star Wars, it's always like, or a villain in Star Wars, it's always like really cool to get, because I just feel like you never know how many you're going to get of that villain or that character, unless it's Vader, or unless it's, you know, Darkseid Anakin, or, you know, whatever. So it's one of those things where I just think he's going to look great on the shelf. He's got such a clean look to him. He's got such a presence. He's got such and this face sculpt, if it turns out this way, it's going to be phenomenal. And I'm just really excited to be adding Grand Admiral Thrawn to the collection, and he comes in at number 6. And again, one last look. This just looks fantastic. Cannot wait to add him to the Ahsoka display. Number 5, we're in the top 5 now. And before we go any further, if you're enjoying this video, please give it a like. That would really help the video a lot. I'd really appreciate it. And here at number 5, we have Hera. And this one was tough because Hera, you know, I've been going back and forth on if this should be higher or not, because this character is just so unique. It's going to really look great on the shelf. There's not going to be anything else in your display that looks quite like Hera, and I think that that's such a cool thing. You got the green, you got the green with the blue eyes, you have the orange pants, you have the you know, the brown jacket with the detailed embroidery design. You got the separate rolling eyeballs. You got some really cool accessories here. And again, she's obviously going to be playing a bigger role in the Ahsoka series, played a big role in Rebels as well. So this is one that I think is worthy of any collection if you're collecting any Star Wars, but definitely with Ahsoka. And this figure just looks absolutely phenomenal. And this head sculpt of Mary Elizabeth Winstead is phenomenal. At number 4, we have Ahsoka herself, Ahsoka Tano, Ahsoka the White. The only reason this is 4 is because that's how strong 1 through 3 is for me. And since there is a few Ahsoka figures, and even an Ahsoka figure from The Mandalorian with Rosario Dawson's likeness, this is why this is at number 4, because you can already get one right now that looks really good. But this one is going to be the one to have if you're collecting Ahsoka. And just that all new joint designs allowing wider range of articulation. That's what a lot of people wanted, and you can kind of see it compared to that one. That other figure is really good, but you can just see how much better this one looks, and I think how much better this one is going to end up being. It's just a beautiful figure. The head sculpt is absolutely phenomenal, and this is just going to look so good on the shelf. So I cannot wait to add Ahsoka, because you got to have Ahsoka in an Ahsoka display. So we're going to go on to our top 3, and at number 3 we have Shin Hati, and these are ones that just got released not too long ago, or just got announced not too long ago, and they look absolutely phenomenal. Shin looks great. Shin was one of my favorite characters. Her costume design, just her movements, the way she looked, the way she moved, just her character, her ambition. I just really enjoyed it, and I think it's just a character that I cannot wait to see more of in future seasons. And once again, this figure just looks absolutely phenomenal. I love the costume design on this figure, and I cannot wait to have it, and that's why it comes in at number 3. Going in at number 2 here, we have Sabine Wren. And Sabine Wren is just one of those characters that I love. Sabine Wren. She not only looks really cool, she's got a lot of versatility. She can be a Mandalorian, she can be a Jedi. She's just got that look. I love her costume design. I love the color scheme. I love the purple hair. I love everything about this figure. The head sculpt looks absolutely phenomenal. If this head sculpt looks this good when it's released, we are in for an absolute treat. So I cannot wait to add this Sabine figure. It's one of my most anticipated figures of the year. Cannot wait to add this to the collection. And again, as a Rebels fan, and again, this is mainly an Ahsoka thing. Like I said, I liked Rebels, but I really enjoyed Ahsoka, and I'm collecting based on the show. So I'm not even thinking about that other stuff. I'm just thinking about the show, like I said in the opening, and that's why Sabine Wren is at number 2. And at number 1 is Baylan Skoll. R.I.P. Ray Stevenson. What a great performance. Baylan would have been 1 or 2 in my list no matter what. He was one of my favorite characters as the show was going on. It's just, so sad about Ray Stevenson, but he gave us an iconic performance in just one season, and it's one that I just wish we could have saw more of because it was such a good performance. And I'm gonna just, I just hate that we're not gonna get to see more of that performance and see where this character would have gone with Ray Stevenson as the character. Maybe they recast it, I'm not sure, but this figure just looks fantastic. The aging around the eyes, a few people have said they want a little bit more pepper in his beard. I totally agree with that, but other than that, I just think that this is almost a perfect figure. It just looks phenomenal. The head sculpt, the body, the presence of it, the wide shoulders, the costume design is my favorite of any character in the show, just because it's almost like a medieval knight. It's almost like a Game of Thrones Star Wars mashup, which I really like. And the green mixed with the black and the gray and the weathered shoulder pads just looks phenomenal. So I cannot wait to add Baylan Skoll to the collection, and he is my number 1 most anticipated figure out of the Star Wars Ahsoka line, which is saying a lot because this line is absolutely incredible. All right, everyone, so that was my rankings of every Hot Toy Ahsoka figure that has been announced so far. Let me know in the comments where you agree, where you disagree. I want to hear what you have to say. Again, this is just my opinion. I know you're going to have a different one, and I would love to hear your opinion in the comments below. Please make sure to give this video a like if you enjoyed it. That would really help out my channel, and consider subscribing if you want to see more content like this. I will also link some other videos that are on my channel in the description below. That would mean a lot to me as well. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.